Hey friends. I had a very cool experience today. I went and saw my osteopath, who I have told many stories about on this post. And I got some really great input from him. But the coolest thing about the session, which is why it was kind of a unusual one, is because I brought my daughter, Annalise. And she had met him before. And when she was like not quite 2 or something, whatever, I forget how, it might have been just over 2 years old, she lay on his table and for about 30 seconds, and he did a little craniosacral on her. But he was really barely able to work on her. She was a rolling around little 2-year-old. Today, she lay on that table, and he treated her for, I would say, a good 20 minutes at least. And it was kind of remarkable. Kind of remarkable. Watching her, first of all, surrender to it. She initially said she didn't want to do it. And then I left the room and I came back and she said, "Oh, I want to go on the table." I said, "Okay, honey." And she lay down. She kind of played with her hands for a little while, but she lay still, eyes open, awake for over 20 minutes while he worked on her. And it's as a parent, feeling your child's system get that kind of attention and be sort of registered and treated by someone of really high caliber, it was just super cool. It was just super cool to feel what he was doing for her. And he talked about the right side of her head feeling like it had maybe been, he asked if she'd fallen or if she'd banged that side of her head or something. I couldn't think of anything. But he said that it treated and kind of let go. And so, but anyway, that was one very, very new experience. I've never seen her. She's never had a treatment like that. It's pretty cool to watch her have the first one and to know that that's possible for her. And then he treated me briefly because she had used up way more of the session than I was expecting her to. And we spoke a bit about the doctor whom I saw in Chicago. And I saw a hand specialist in Chicago. I believe I talked about this on my post shortly afterwards, but he essentially put me at ease about the nature of my injury and really put me at ease not doing anything invasive right now, not looking for surgery. And today, Andrew pointed something out that I had kind of already picked up on, but he made it really explicit. Because I had gotten advice from someone who was clearly a real expert and who gave me a level of revealed a level of perception and a level of depth of knowledge that went way beyond anything I had seen anywhere else. Because of that, I relaxed inwardly. It was like I had just become relaxed. It took a load off my system and it allowed my system to settle in a new way. And this is basically what Andrew pointed out. He said, when you get that caliber of information, it lifts a load off the system. It's a psychic load. It's not nothing physical has changed, but a psychic load has been lifted. And I'll be damned if that's not one of the biggest shifts that I've experienced around this issue, as far as like how I feel and what level of energy my body's able to be at. It's just a whole new world in a way. And that's been cool to perceive. It's been very cool to notice that. And then it was really, really nice to see Andrew today and have that named, have that sort of labeled and said out loud, because it allows me to even more fully embrace it and kind of take it on, really receive it. So that's kind of what I'm sitting with today. I'm sitting with the sense that, and just an appreciation of what it means to shift our perspective, what it means for a psychic load to lift. I mean, I've had this experience when I have read a great book. I mean, I remember first time I read, or it was really the second book that I read by Ken Wilber. He organized my thinking about how philosophy and spirituality, how the world of the mind and the world of spirit intersect, and where they are connected and where they are not, where they are separate domains. And it allowed me to put down an incredible weight that I had felt up to that point for a number of years, to somehow intellectually find the answer to some of these burning questions about morality and nature of life and the meaning of life and value and all these things that I was kind of probing into philosophy to try and discover some truth about. All of a sudden I could just say, okay, it's not that domain of the intellect is not beautiful and significant and meaningful and full of value, but it's never going to answer certain questions. It's never going to render a certain kind of meaning. So I don't have to keep looking there. And what I'm saying with this injury is a little bit of a different thing, but it has a similar effect of like all of a sudden where before I had felt like I needed to find out, there was something left to know that would somehow make it clear for me, simply by receiving a really deep reading from a really skilled person, it's like I trust what I know, and I even trust what I don't know, and I trust the process of going forward. I don't have to stress about what I don't know. Coming out of the session with Dr. Cohen in Chicago, I still don't know a lot of things about my injury, and I certainly don't know the future. But I have a sense that I've been given a really clear reading by somebody who was not self-interested, was not muddied by their own skill set and what they know how to do, which is perform surgery. There's no kind of thrust in that direction. So that was just very cool. It was just very cool. And so so today I feel like that penny dropped kind of all the way. I realized, because Andrew also gave feedback on my system, that seemed to have settled. Things seem to have settled, and we kind of attributed it to that. So it's just nice to acknowledge and recognize how putting certain things to rest in the mind can really relieve the physical body, the psyche in general, and the whole human being. So that's where I am today, folks. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you. Have a wonderful day. See you soon.